You think waking up at 4 in the morning makes you disciplined. You think taking a cold shower makes you a warrior. But if you are scrolling through Instagram models at 10 at night, your morning routine is garbage. You are pouring water into a cracked pot. You are leaking your life force. And you wonder why your winter arc always ends in failure by day 3. You have tried it all. The dopamine detox, the motivational videos, the promises you make to yourself in the mirror after a relapse. Never again, you say. But 3 days later, the willpower runs out. The urge hits. And you break. You break because you are fighting a biological war with a motivational quote, "Willpower is a myth." Motivation is a scam sold to you by the modern hustle industry. The ancients did not rely on willpower. They relied on systems. In the Arthashastra, Chanakya did not just teach politics. He taught Indriya, absolute victory over the senses. He understood a ruthless truth. Before you can conquer a kingdom, before you can crack the UPSC, before you can scale a business or outmaneuver your rivals, you must first conquer your own biology. Today, we are stripping away the modern nonsense. We are going to cover the illusion of suppression, the ruthless ancient algorithm for vital retention, and the exact physical protocol you must use tonight to weaponize your biology. You fail because you treat your urges as an enemy to be killed. You sit in your room, gritting your teeth, trying not to think about it. This is a losing strategy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be redirected. The ancient texts speak of a biological alchemy, the transformation of Ojas into Tejas. Ojas is your raw, foundational vitality. It is the dense, heavy energy of base desires. Tejas is the refined fire of intellect, charisma, and unbending focus. When the urge hits you, that is not a sign of weakness. That is a surge of raw Ojas demanding to be used. The modern weak man seeks a cheap digital release. He throws this gold into the gutter of a glowing screen. The strategist, the modern Arjuna, intercepts this energy. Transmutation is not a spiritual concept. It is a mechanical lever. When the urge hits, your brain is demanding a spike in heart rate and dopamine. Give it to your body, but on your terms. Here is the modern application. The moment the thought enters your mind, drop to the floor. Do 20 push-ups immediately. Do not think. Do not negotiate with the voice in your head. Shock the nervous system. Force the blood away from your base instincts and push it into your muscles and your lungs. You must manually hijack your own biology. By the time you stand up, the Ojas has been burned into Tejas. The urge is gone. The fire remains. But dealing with the urge is only treating the symptom. Now that you know how to transmute the energy, we must address why the energy is leaking in the first place. Chanakya stated a profound truth. Na asti mega samam toyam. There is no water like rain, and there is no power like retention. Ancient Brahmacharya is vastly misunderstood by the modern world. You have been told it means mere celibacy. It does not. The root of the concept is Virya Raksha, the uncompromising protection of your vital essence. Without it, tapasya, your deep work, your study sessions, your business building is physically impossible. You cannot build a skyscraper on a foundation of sand. The algorithm knows this. The digital world is explicitly designed to drain your vitality. Every app, every feed, every notification is engineered by neuroscientists to keep you in a state of perpetual, low-level arousal. They want you weak, distracted, and numb, because a numb man is a compliant consumer. You are losing the battle because you are edging your dopamine. You think you are safe because you aren't watching porn, but you are still scrolling through softcore traps. You are flooding your brain with cheap hits of dopamine, exhausting your receptors and draining your drive. The modern application is ruthless. You must execute a scorched earth policy on your devices. Go to your phone settings right now. Turn the display to grayscale. Strip the color away. Make your phone a tool, not a toy. Stop the slow leak of your vitality. Power in this century belongs to the man who can retain his attention and his essence while everyone else gives theirs away for free. Look in the mirror. How many days has it been since your last relapse? Go to the comments right now and type the number. Be brutally honest. Do not hide it. Put it in public. Let that number shame you into action. Let it be the baseline from which you rebuild your empire. Now that we have secured the foundation, we must defend the gates. In ancient philosophy, there is the concept of Drishti, the gaze. The mind does not get corrupted in a vacuum. The corruption enters through the eyes. Where your Drishti lands, your mind follows. Where your mind follows, your energy flows. You are fighting a war against relapse, yet you are inviting the enemy into your camp. You complain about lack of focus, but your Instagram feed is a minefield of digital sirens. Understand this. The battle is not lost when you open the forbidden website. The battle is lost 3 hours earlier when you allowed your gaze to linger on an influencer's post. If you see it, you have already lost. You have triggered the biochemical cascade. The modern application is absolute zero tolerance. Unfollow every single softcore influencer. Unfollow the fitness models. Unfollow anyone who uses their body to steal your attention. If a piece of content does not make you smarter, richer, or deadlier, it must be purged from your feed. Control your Drishti, and you control your destiny. To control your Drishti in a world of infinite distraction, willpower is not enough. You need a digital fortress. You need a system that enforces your boundaries when your motivation is low. This is why I integrate blockers at the root level of my devices. A tool like Focus App Blocker does not just hide the bad habits, it incinerates the bridge to them. It locks down the pathways so that in your weakest moment, the algorithm cannot reach you. It is the modern equivalent of locking the gates of your fortress. But locking the gates brings its own danger. Here is the final piece of the puzzle. The secret the self-improvement gurus will never tell you about: monk mode. Do not confuse isolation with elevation. When men enter their winter arc, they lock themselves in a dark room. They cut off their friends. They sit alone with their thoughts. This is a fatal strategic error. The isolated mind is a vulnerable mind. When you are alone in the dark, the demons of your past habits scream the loudest. Do not isolate. Elevate. Replace the time you spent on cheap dopamine with high-friction reality. Go to the gym. Go to the library. Sit in a coffee shop to do your work. Be around the energy of the world without being consumed by it. You have plugged the leak. You understand the biology of your urges. You know how to protect your vital essence. But retaining energy is completely useless if you do not know where to aim it. You have built a reservoir of power. Now, you need to learn how to focus that energy into a laser beam to conquer the material world. You need to understand how the ancients viewed wealth and power. Click the video on the screen right now. Chanakya Niti on money. Why buying assets keeps you poor. It will shatter everything you have been taught about wealth accumulation and give you the exact framework to dominate your financial reality. Click it now. The lesson continues there.